it's Brittany. Welcome to Dreamtime. And because it's October, I'm going to tell you some scary dreams that I've had, especially this month. But today I'm only going to tell you one scary dream that I had years ago. And so, about 4 years ago, I believe, I had this dream that I was in this new movie of of a sequel to Arachnophobia. And if you don't know what that movie is, Arachnophobia came out in 1990, and there was no CGI at the time for the spiders to look real. And so, for those who know the movie, you know what I'm talking about. For those who don't, it's a movie that's and the title itself is actually the word, which is fear of spiders, which I have, and most people can relate to that. So anyway, yes, in this dream, I was in a sequel of Arachnophobia, and um, Jeff Daniels was there, and so we were both heading to the barn. And don't ask me why, because I don't even know why. I think we're probably going in there just to see if the spiders were that have been killed before in the movie. I think we just wanted to see if anything else was living in there, like animals or more spiders. So I think we just went in the barn just to investigate it, just to take a look around. So of course, we took a look around, and there are spider webs everywhere, especially like the top of the barn, which is, ugh, it's, I don't know how to say it, but it's just, bleh, like, I can't take it. So, anyway, we're looking around, like this, like, just looking around. And believe me, we didn't even want to go, up, like, climb up the ladder to the top of the barn. Yeah, we did it. I know. So, anyway. So, while we're just looking around, somehow we both felt like, okay, we need to get out of this barn, because we don't know if something could happen right now, like, because I think we were getting a bad feeling that something was going to happen. But guess what? Something bad already happened right in front of us, because, uh, um, the door, like, the door to the barn was wide open, and all of a sudden, just when we're walking out of the barn, this huge tarantula was hanging from its web, and it was swinging. Okay, imagine this is a tarantula, and it was swinging like this, right in front of our faces. And I saw it, like, it was so close, kind of like that. And I thought it's two big front black eyes, which, scared me, scared the hell out of me. And of course, me and Jeff Daniels, we both screamed at the same time, very loud, and we were both so very terrified of what happened that we just ran out of that barn. Like, we ran so fast that we didn't even went back. Because of course, who would want to go back to the barn, like, even experiencing something so terrifying? So yeah, we never went back. We kept on running. So as we were done running, somehow we came to a stop to his house. Not his house, but his character's house that was in the movie, the first movie. And so, we didn't exactly went inside to the house just yet. We were still outside. We were still both like, well, we were very exhausted from running, but also we were still very terrified from what we've experienced, like that tarantula hanging from its web from the top of the ceiling in a barn and just swinging in front of our faces with those creepy black eyes, which is terrifying. So anyway, after that horrible, terrifying experience we both uh, went through, um, we saw this huge tree, like tree trunk. And you know, some trees are big, like that and that. Well, this was quite big. This was massive, like about there, or maybe a bit wider. I'm not sure. It's kind of like the ones in Sequoia, but I would have to say maybe just a bit bigger, you know. And so this completely surprised me and Jeff, that on this huge massive tree trunk is that there was this huge and very thick spider web. Like it was all around it, like from the top to the trunk to the bottom and all around, kind of like a Christmas present, except this isn't Christmas wrapping. This is a huge spider web, and this isn't just your normal uh, spider web. Was very thick and sticky and strong. And so there was this guy with a camera, I'm sorry. And so he was taking pictures of it. He kept taking pictures on how this huge spider web was wrapped around the tree trunk, like a Christmas present. And so, even though he was a photographer, I think he was also like an expert on spiders, because he was saying that he never saw a spider web that thick, sticky, or very strong before. And he said that he believes that once a prey, like any prey, like a fly, like a very small prey, like an animal, or a large prey, like a large animal, or even a human being, that if they were to touch it or even lay on the web, there's no way for them to get out, because since this web is like super thick and strong and sticky, that there's no way that any prey that gets onto that web could get out, because that once the spiders come, it's gonna wrap their prey around it like so tight where you can't even breathe, because of the fact that they're blood suckers. They're gonna, you know, suck the, suck the life out of their prey, which of course that's a very scary thing about spiders, is that they're blood suckers. So anyway, since he was telling us this, of course, me and Jeff Daniels are scared, and we're just like, what? I'm sorry, I lost my voice there. I think it's because of spiders. Okay, sorry. So anyway, me and Jeff were both very scared to hear this. Like, what? Like, we never heard such a thing. But of course, I can see it for myself, because even when I was looking at the web, I didn't touch it. Because of course I wouldn't. Whether if it's super thick or not, I just wouldn't. But in the dream, I can see it for myself, and since I was seeing it in front of me, I can tell that it was very thick, strong, and sticky. And I thought, okay, whatever kind of spider this is, like, I don't want to know, but at the same time, I feel like I need to know, so that way when I do come across that spider, I won't have to, let's just say I won't ever have to fall into their trap. Like, I won't have to fall into their web and what else they're gonna do, So I thought, okay, I don't know what kind of spider this is, but to me this sounds very deadly and, like, very dangerous, And so just him telling us that, yeah, we were both scared, like, what kind of spider is this? Like, we don't know. So, anyway, after talking to him, which was actually helpful, um, there was like this white van and some cars parked near Jeff Daniels' character, um, near the house, like from the original movie. And so the photographer, which also is a spider expert, he says, like, oh yeah, those people that you called, they're here. And he was oh, like, and Jeff says, oh, okay, thank you. And so he walks to the house. But of course, I'm going with Jeff because there's no way I'm gonna stay outside where that spider is at. No way. So here's another scary thing is that when I'm walking with Jeff to this house, to his house, is that we were walking underneath this lemon tree. And underneath this tree had like spider webs, like across, like underneath. Ugh. And it also had like not big spiders, but it had like a little bit of big ones, like maybe that big. So yeah, I was like, like I'm like very scared, like get me out of here. So of course I'm like panicking inside. Um, so we walked into the house, and the funny thing is, Jeff didn't even told me of who exactly arrived to the house, because somehow I thought maybe his family arrived, or maybe his friends, or just anybody, but somehow I thought, okay, like, so who was it who's at the house right now? Like, I have no clue. And so, of course, we got to the house, and I actually found out that the people he called to the house, I think because of these spiders, he actually called a group of scientists, which I think that was pretty cool. But when we got to the house, there was one person who was like playing a scientist, in my dream of this to the sequel of Arachnophobia, and this actually came to me as a surprise in the dream. That the person that I recognized, um, playing this scientist in my dream, and actually got to talk to with, was actually Jonah Hill. And yeah, like I said, that came quite as a surprise to me. And so, to be honest, after I went to the house and I found this out, to be honest, I actually felt safe, because being outside was just, I don't have to say being outside because of that spider, it was kind of like in a danger zone. Like, very scary. So, of course, being inside was much more not so scary. So, since that was interesting because of the fact that Jonah Hill was playing the scientist in my dream, somehow I was able to talk to him. Like, I sat down and talked to him. So what he was doing is that he was actually, like, he had another group of scientists with him, because I think they all work together. And so he was doing like some sort of experiments. And so he knew about this spider situation. I think he knew that it was very deadly, and that if any of us were to contact with this spider, that we would be in very great danger. Which, that's just so horrible. But anyway, so while he's doing some sort of experiments, and also like writing something down, I think writing something to figure out on how to come up with this very like experiment like this chemical like for a way to kill these deadly spiders. So as he is, it's like even though he was busy doing what he needs to do, at the same time we were talking. It was actually a nice conversation because it's funny because he at first he was telling me about how he knew about this spider situation and how deadly they are and how all of us can be in danger to keep contact with it, you know, especially if we go anywhere closer to that. So, um, of course, that's scary to hear, you know. So, first, yeah, we talked about that just a little bit. So, after that, the subject was changed into something else because then he started talking about how he likes the movie Jurassic Park. And he was saying that he really likes the part in Jurassic Park um, where you know Jeff Goldblum as Ian Malcolm, where he was saying to John Hammond that of what he's doing is wrong and all of that. Like you know that scene, like kind of like they're having lunch and he's just telling him it's wrong, and the people who are working for you don't think straight. Like they're not thinking of. He said something about that line, and so he said that even though he agrees of what he said in that part, that at the same time when the crazy part happens already, it's like he also likes the crazy parts that happen, you know, where the dinosaurs get loose because you know, it's just like that kind of movie where it crazy things happen, and so like it just shows you how something like that could go horribly wrong. And so when he was mentioning that, how he both liked those parts, I actually agreed. Well, I was to say yeah, I agreed, cause yeah, I even told them that yeah, I like that too. That I like those parts where even though I agree with Jeff Goldblum's character of what he said about how something like this could go horribly wrong, and he shouldn't be doing something like this to begin with. It's like at the same time, I also like the crazy parts too in Jurassic Park where the dinosaurs get loose, and especially where the T-Rex just goes, you know, on the loose, you know, goes crazy. And so yeah, it's like somehow we had that in common, and I found that so surprising. And but of course, who wouldn't like Jurassic Park? And so after that, it went to like the subject went back to the whole spiders thing again, and he was actually saying, and this part scared me of what he said. He actually said that if the spiders get more loose, I think he meant to say is that if there were to be more spiders like this, like if they were to breed and there was more and more spiders like them, that sooner or later, that when those spiders are full grown, you know, full grown adult spiders, that um, that once they, it's kind of like once they bit you, it's kind of like this. Once they bit you, it's kind of like it's so really hard that you're like in pain, and that you don't have any time to live because it's like you're gonna die the moment you start to feel that horrible pain. And of course he mentioned that once that happens and they start killing people off and animals off you know the planet, that soon they're gonna take over a town, and the next they're gonna take over a whole city, and that the next thing you know it is gonna be taking over a town, a city, and the next thing you know it is like taking over the whole earth. It's kind of like a spider invasion where all those spiders are taking all over the earth, and um, any existence of animals or humans will be gone because of those spiders. And because he told me that, I was scared. I was scared, like, oh no, like, this can't happen. I never heard this kind of spider before. Never. So I was very scared. And he can see the look on my face, which, how scared I was. Kind of like how I am now because of the fact that I'm mentioning spiders. So, anyway. um, so yeah, he can tell how scared I looked, and he told me not to worry, that he and his group are definitely gonna um, do more experiments, and that once they find that right experiment where it's gonna definitely kill off those deadly spiders for good. To me, that was such a relief, to hear, like, oh, okay, finally, so you guys are here because of that. Like, okay, that's good. Like, I'm glad of that. So, actually, to be honest, only the beginning part of the dream. Okay, so that's pretty much it of the dream. But I'll just say this, even though the beginning part of the dream was scary because of the fact that this huge tarantula was swinging right in front of my face and Jeff Daniels, whew, it's very scary, as you can tell. So anyway, other than that, even though that part is just scary, I would have to say, other than that, the rest did turn out good because the rest was not even that scary. The rest just turned out good. So I do like the dream, just not the beginning part of it now, but I do like the rest. And yeah, I would have to say, to be honest, when I woke up thinking about this dream and how, because even when I was awake, how it still like surprised me because I saw Jonah Hill as the scientist in the dream. I was like, okay, I didn't know he was gonna be in that dream, but since he did, I thought, well, that's okay. Because to be honest, since at the end of the dream, since Jeff Daniels and Jonah Hill, since they were both there with me, I felt safe. I have to be honest by that. I did feel safe by being with them, because at least I wasn't like in a room full of spiders. And if I was, I would be so terrified. Like, very. But since they were there, I'm like, it's such a relief. Like I said, I really felt comfortable and very safe with them in a dream. So, yeah, that's all that I had today of this dream. I will be telling you more scary dreams sometime this month. And if you like this video, give it a like and leave a comment below and share it. And if you haven't and you would like to, please subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. And one final thing before I go is that because I had this dream, I've also been thinking, like, okay, like, I'm not so sure if they're gonna make a sequel to Arachnophobia, but I'll just say this, if they do, oh my gosh, that's gonna be some scary news to me, because I'm gonna be like, what? A sequel? No! Like, okay, that happened in my dream, but does it really need to happen? But I'll just say this, just in case Arachnophobia Part 2 ever does happen, let's say 2 years from now, or even 4 years from now, I don't know, but in case if it ever happens in the near future, I mean, I may not like it, but at the same time, I'll be like, you know what, I'm only gonna watch it just to see how it is, just because I'm curious. So yeah, and leave a comment below if you have seen arachnophobia and whether if it has scared you or not. But to be honest, in my case, oh yeah, it definitely very much scared me. It still scares me. But of course I don't watch it often, but I remember those times when I did. Oh yeah, I was scared. But the ending is much worse though, if you know what I mean. Cause the ending is like, ugh, it's like, yeah, it's it's scary. That's all I can say. But yes, that's all for today. And I know I said there was going to be a Halloween background, but the problem is that when I was trying to put it up and try to test it, the thing is the sun, like the sunlight was like reflecting on the background, so it kind of looked off. So there may not be a background for this month, but I'm sorry about that. So, excuse me, like I said, if you haven't and you would like to already, um, please subscribe to my channel. It would mean a lot to me. That's all for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.